I was in a dark, dark place by this time. I was homeless. I had tried to commit suicide. I had gone through some really painful things, and was desperately seeking. We lived in the orchards from infancy on, from May to October. We were in different schools every year. We were very blessed to have a cabin would be giving too much credit, but a little 10 by 10 shack. And so if you were the first ones to arrive at the orchards, you might be able to live in those. Oftentimes it was in our car or a camper on a truck, or in a tent. We had no running water, so pretty much all those months, our source of water was bringing our own water in. Our source of bathing was finding a creek or a canal or a lake to bathe in. Outhouses were the staple. I started realizing that that other kids had things that I didn't have. They were stable. They had homes. Kids are cruel, so definitely, being the new kid in school every year is really hard. Being the new kid who's very poor and unkept, is really, really difficult. Growing up, I had never, Jesus Christ was a curse word. God was, I don't even know who God was. It wasn't spoken of in our family. So in high school, the first time that I heard the gospel, it happened to be my husband's sister who gave me a tract. And but her life, I noticed her life, and I knew that there was something about her that I really wanted. I was in a dark, dark place by this time. I was homeless. I had tried to commit suicide. I had gone through some really painful things, and was desperately seeking. And when she shared the gospel with me through a track and through her life, just bowing her head and praying in high school, and I'd watch her and think, what is it that, what is she doing? A sense of oddity, but also a sense of drawing. And so she gave me that chick tract. I went home and I read it, and it was called This Was Your Life. And I knew in an instant that was what I was looking for. And it was really in the form of just someone loving me. Like there was someone there who loved me and who would not give up on me, and who died for me. And so that was huge. That was a huge, and so I really believe that moment was when I trusted Christ as Savior, and had a lot of growing to do after. I can't remember names, but I can see faces of people who treated us with a lot of kindness, who treated us as if we were no different than everyone else. And that was huge. I mean, looking back, I really believe, I know one of the people that comes to mind. I don't remember her name, but I do know now that she was a Christian just by some of the things she would say and do. I believe she knew the Lord. But just treating you as if you're a person. You have feelings, you have hopes and dreams and desires, but you're caught in a life that you feel like it's very difficult to get out of. You're uneducated, and because of the time frame, of the migrant season, many kids don't finish school because they are taken out of school early. They start very late, don't get a chance to get an education, and so there's a lot of stigma with that. And I think understanding that you are loved and cared for just like anyone else is just really important. Once I began to accept and understand God's plan and His purpose for my life, understanding that He plucked me out of that life, but it was all part of His plan. It was all part of His story, and to be able to use my life for His glory became a lot more real to me when I realized I could be that person that as a child I looked up to and remembered. I could be that person to speak kindness into someone's life. It gives a lot of compassion to realize that, but for the grace of God, there go I.